I'm home.
Finally. You doing all right?
Fine, I guess. Why aren't you asleep?
I figured it's finally time for me to become more of a night owl. We've talked about making our schedules sync better.
Watch your vitamin D. I'd kill to have your skin. Would be ashamed to waste it.
Shouldn't have smoked so much before you got bitten, sweetheart.
Should have shared your skincare routine with me back when I was still breathing.
I can't just be going around sharing my one secret weapon. It's top secret stuff. MK Ultra stuff. Jeffrey Epstein's current whereabouts level. I'd have to kill you if I told you.
Love you too, hun. Okay then. Love you too, hun.
Come on, what's with the attitude?
Nothing. I just thought, we're beyond hiding secrets from each other. I was wrong. But okay, I get it. I really do.
Time out. You're not really mad, are you?
Nah, it's just my inner asshole teasing you. Never mind. I feel a little more self-conscious than usual tonight.
Don't. You want me to do your makeup before you go to sleep?
No need.
No need. Weren't you supposed to have some sort of big party tomorrow night?
I was involved in the backstage stuff. What makes you think I was invited?
Because you're the coolest, cutest, and most all-around amazing person I know. They'd be insane not to put you on the short list.
Believe it or not, but most vampires are pretty insane.
Interdimensional psychic vampire level insane? Because that's how crazy they'd have to be to ignore you like this.
Yeah, I would say so.
Fuck them then. A big bunch of posh dicks. They hate you because they ain't you. But they'll see.
Jesus, how do you do it?
Do what?
You always assault me with so much of this weird, stupid positivity that I can't react to it without completely shifting my mental attitude. How do you do it?
The answer is easy. You remember how I told you we have this spiritual connection? I can sense what you feel and want. You can sense what I feel too, if you really focus.
Yeah, I think I called it a big load of bullshit.
Said a girl who talks to ghosts. But watch this, Agent Scully. I sensed you feeling down, and I realized what you really need to end this night.
She points to one of her drawers, one where she keeps her supply of ketamine. Come on.
What? No, wrong drawer. We're not meeting demons, we're meeting angels.
MDMA.
Ding, ding, ding. Took it half an hour ago. Perfect timing thanks to our spiritual connection. Ready to fly away?
Mood isn't right. I need music.
Got a special sound club playlist ready to go, prepared specifically to uplift one Julia Slinsky. Just give me a sign and I'll press play.
Jesus, you're impossible.
That's why you love me, I hope.
I give up. Come here, let me have a taste of you. Maybe this one time the high won't end. I leave Dakota's apartment as soon as the sun goes down. Yesterday was fun, but I always feel a little nervous when I spend too much time with her. It lets me escape from being the center of attention. Exhausting. At least, the less time I spend with her, the happier she is to see me again. It's a tricky act to balance, though. I am grateful for her presence in my life, but never mind. What's on my list of chores tonight? Yes, only one thing. Don't show up for the party at the art hole. Well, this is the rare night when I don't have anything to do. So I'll take a trip around the city and see what's up. Maybe fix myself a little drink while I'm at it.
Your choice.
Breaking the habit. What was I thinking? I mean, even the most hopeless introverts yearn for company every now and then, be it the company of someone they know or a total stranger revealing themselves to the soulmate they've always sought. Even for someone as neurotic as me, there's something enthralling in the idea of briefly trading your individualism for a place in the crowd. You can just wander around and stare like a peeping Tom hidden in plain sight. If there's anything missing from the shell of my previous social life, it's that intangible sensation being a part of a living mass. But really, Coney Island of all places. What was I thinking? Surely it's my ID finally revealing what I've been missing all along. All my sick soul really wanted was to nibble on a Williams caramel apple while taking an overpriced Wonder Wheel ride. Well, I'm here. Might as well try at least one of those tourist traps. Spookarama? A goofy-looking rubber cyclops hanging over the entrance to the haunted house has a somewhat cheap, biting appearance. I paid for the ticket in hope of seeing more of this sort of... I don't know how to say what word it is.
Hitch.
I don't stick around until the end and storm out through the emergency exit. Jesus. Died, drank a rat's blood once, lost the ability to use modern technology. All that in mind, I still consider this to be the worst experience yet. Not that I expected anything else, but still. Not sure what I was hoping for. Amidst the clouds of cigarette smoke, I noticed an old woman perched silently by the wall. It's like one giant wrinkle, but her gaze is lively and pierces right through me. I pull the crumpled package out of my back pocket, my last smoke. As I raise the lighter, some pompous dick preoccupied with his visibly bored girlfriend shoves the cigarette out of my hand. Now, it's his half-assed apology that pisses me off the most. The urge to drink him dry is strong, but I let it pass. I look beneath my feet. I can hear the old crone cackling as my cigarette sinks into the only puddle in the vicinity. Fuck. I turn toward the exit and notice some brawny dude closing in on me. The way he's dressed has the same uncanny aura as Steve Buscemi walking through a high school corridor in a skater outfit. Except that Steve Buscemi is 1,000 times cooler than this guy. He guts right in my face and hands me a cigarette, and up a rather annoying smirk.
James, go for it.
Having a bad night, sweetheart?
It was fine up until this point. It was fine until you came along. Completely disregards my reluctance and starts waving his hands erratically like a second-hand mime.
That's a shame. But hey, you seem like a girl who likes to have fun. I know these things. I have something here, just for you. Want to check it out?
While this bizarre peacock dance, his colorful wristband pops up from behind his sleeve. Shit, man, how clueless can you be? Is this a hidden camera show? Or maybe you're just some newbie being hazed by the rest of your undercover unit. Fake curiosity. He really thinks I'll take the bait. Believable. Okay, smartass, you're on.
Well, what do you say?
Keep talking.
Why won't you follow me to my stash? I've got dope.
Wow. Just wow. Let me stop you right there, Tony Montana. Less than 10 seconds and you rush straight to the finish line? Oh, dope? You poor soul. You're out of your depth. Who put you up to this? I seem to have struck a nerve. Doesn't know how to handle it. Come on, big guy. Just give me a reason.
Well, fuck you too, bitch.
Now, that's just rude. Eggs for a reaction. Just walk away. He might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. Probably not alone. I'm sure I could take him and his pig friends, but I don't feel like getting teased in the face tonight. Did the taser even work on me? This might not be the right time to find out. Now it's time to leave this shit show behind. Goodbye, officer. Guess it's enough human interaction for one night. Once more to Big Beat Burger, into the last fast food joint I'll ever know. I'll have the usual. First time I used this line, I wasn't sure it would work, but I've gained enough notoriety among the staff that it does. The cashier just smiles, nods, and charges me for one black coffee. I can imagine them instructing the newbies, see that emo weirdo? Here's how it is. She always orders a single cup of coffee, nothing else. She doesn't even drink it. Probably wouldn't take a single sip even if I was still alive. Stuff is just trash. But at least being a buying customer gives me an excuse to sit here for as long as I want to. I wish I could use one of those self-order kiosks to minimize human contact, but touchscreens don't exactly like me. Not too long ago, I managed to blue screen 10 of them in a row. Oh well, the good news is, it doesn't look like I have anything to do tonight. The bad news is, it's because every kindred who matters is having fun at the art hole right now. It's not like I wanted to go. I wanted them to invite me so that I could tell them to fuck off. I scanned the entrance to the restaurant through my peripheral vision. Am I naively hoping someone will come and save me from misery? Yes, I am. Please, please, please let somebody come and get me out of here. Prince. Princess. A knight in shining armor, a fairy godmother, a passing huntsman, Big Bad Wolf, Mila Djokovic, Vin Diesel, Azealia Banks. Hell, I'll take anyone at this point. Visualizing, being into the power of my subconscious, materializing my dreams. Nope, doesn't work. Looks like you're eternally stuck being a nobody in the corner of a shitty restaurant. Sweet, well, Julia. One life's a bitch, and then you don't even die. I pretend to read a book about psychoanalysis I stole from Dakota for a while. Having found it too mentally taxing, I switched to pretending to read a Stephen King book, which I also stole from Dakota. After the terrifying realization that it was written in the last 15 years and therefore contains no amusing drugged out rants about troubled childhood in Maine, I switched back to looking at the entrance. That party must be so stuffy and trashy and boring. At this point, I'm no longer looking for salvation. I'm asking for amusement. But it doesn't come. What I get is boring bozos and normcore clothes. They walk in, take care of their business without doing anything to amuse me, and walk out. A few minutes after I lose all hope, a tall, elegant man marches in with a spring in his step. He looks around, impatient, irritated. Then he notices the person he was looking for and reacts with visible relief. He gallantly approaches my table, me, and says,
There you are.
"Now that's curious. Be here." Fairy godmother? What's up? Are you here to be my fairy godmother? You gave me a wonderful dress and drive me to the party. Oh, but it's past midnight already. My dumb attempt at self-amusement doesn't faze him at all. He doesn't even roll his eyes, just stares at me blankly.
Grab your stuff and get in my car. Now.
His tone leaves no room for doubt. Something bad has happened. I want to ask what, but whenever he's in his "I will simply ignore all the dumb shit you say" mode, I know better than to ask questions. Instead, I silently follow him to the exit, guides me to his car. I just hope I haven't messed anything up. Again, I don't think I have, but Qadir's car. As usual, he gave me the back seat. It's always uneasy when the passenger seat is taken. I don't want anyone to limit his peripheral vision, he says. Normally, I'd catch him observing me in the rearview mirror, but this time, he's watching the streets. Tense and unusual. Something must have caught him off guard. I've got my seatbelt on and my popcorn ready. Up. Awkward silence feels like it will last forever. Eventually, he finds the right words and speaks up.
"6 weeks ago, the prince told me to parley with the anarchs in the docks. Remember?"
Yeah, and you made me tag along so that I could learn something about politics. As it turned out, politics meant something awfully similar to watching my drunken family shout at each other at a wedding party.
There was this man who didn't need to shout to make my blood boil. The meanest one in the room, their leader. White hair, a monocle, musty clothes.
Go ahead.
With this fucking Polak cunt.
Scrooge McDuck? Yeah, how could I forget? Panache, old-timey bravado, and gendered insults flung my way. What was his name? Something British. Made me think of... Wood. Callahan?
Baron Callahan. Douglas Boss Callahan.
Right. It's 2020, but the man's opinions and ideas were stuck in 1920. Anarch's supposed to be the progressive option. Never understood why they put up with him.
He has his ways of predicting which way the wind will blow. Anytime Camarilla or the SI hit the anarchs, it was the factions opposed to him that were hurt. The luckiest bastard in the world.
I didn't believe in luck.
I don't. But it sure looks like his luck has finally run out tonight.
Huh? Wait. Don't tell me. He's dead? He's dead? Better than dead?
I'm 99% sure the bastard met his final death.
How do you know?
We've got trustworthy sources in the Anarch inner circles. Looks like all hell is about to break loose. There's an emergency meeting at the art hall.
Jesus. You're bringing me with you?
Because you were on the way. Because I could. Because I should. You might not be important to the members of the court, but you're still an asset to the sect. Symbolically, at least. I can justify sneaking you into the party, claiming it's for your own protection.
My sweet fairy godmother in a luxury carriage. Wait a minute, though. The party. Still happening?
I called the prince. Told her the best course of action is stopping it and starting. I called the prince. Told her the best course of action is stopping it and started listing security protocols I have prepared for these sorts of situations. She interrupted me halfway through and told me we will discuss the subject face to face.
Doesn't sound like she was interested. The party is that important, huh?
Politics. Politics is that important.
I don't know if he's trying to convince me or himself. And once again, politics sound an awful lot like a bunch of party-loving assholes shouting at each other.
Don't worry. This isn't the kind of, how should I call it, governing issue the likes of you and I tend to deal with.
And how would you describe the governing issues we tend to deal with?
Shoveling ourselves out of shit.
As usual, he seems a little embarrassed for cussing. For being too honest. Either way, it's cute. No argument here. And that's where the conversation ends. We stay silent as the car rides off toward the unknown.
James, you try this. An Irish accent.
I'm not a New York City baron. The Baron of New York City, if you please.
Once more, a memory of an old douchebag who thought he could rule the world crosses my mind. Well, it looks like the world has left him behind. And Nara, asshole. And here I am, at the only place I didn't expect to visit tonight. Art hole. Guessing by the sounds, the inside seems lively. Even if they know it's an emergency, they simply don't care.
What are you standing around for? Do you still need an invitation?
No idea. Do I?
I think the bouncer will let you in.
There's a bouncer?
Yes, and he's standing right in front of you. Just start walking, whelp.
Here I am, among partying elites. It's as stuffy and boring as I expected. At least it's exclusive. The title Panhard came up with for these yearly gatherings is called Celebrations of Power. Invitation to re-examine the relationship between our undead bodies and the spaces they inhabit. The week-long event is packaged as a sort of performance art piece, meant to make the kindred who are involved celebrate their potential instead of despairing at their monstrous nature. We need to counter-program the omnipresent images of tragic vampirism with images that remind us we have inherited the earth and are now free to remake it in our image, is the way our prince puts it. To this end, she organizes a series of exhibits, concerts, fireworks, parties, business meetings, etc., etc. Of course, the parties and business meetings are the most important.
My prince.
Qadir, finally!
Saint with angelic wings, holy patron of New York City. I take a good look around. Half of the figures here are dressed like they're attending a masked ball. Half are religious figures, either demonic or saintly. I have to admit, I don't fully understand the theme here. I know Panhard based it on psychomagic, a sort of shamanic psychotherapy using the power of art. Simply put, it's a holy mass and unholy mass in equal measures. A set of rituals meant to make the participants wholeheartedly accept they're both the worst and the best this earth has to offer.
Put on this mask. At the very least, you're standing out.
Here.
I heard the aesthetic basis for these parties is the black mass in the film Eyes Wide Shut. I think this decision means Panhard is tone deaf, but it's quite the contrary. She knows the anarchs are constantly looking for ways to undermine her through art and rhetoric that point out glaring contradictions in her theoretically benevolent rule. Instead of denying and suppressing aesthetics designed to criticize the elites, she embraces them. Risking a Streisand effect, she effectively defangs the opposition. The resistance becomes a part of the system, and both the Camarilla and the anarchs get the same message. Don't think of it as a pathology, but as a new normal.
I'll collect the key advisors.
You've already been told to come here. I don't think there is a need for us to hold a meeting in a particularly secluded place. We'll just do it over there.
Are you certain?
Absolutely. Wait, is that Miss Sawinski I see behind you?
Good evening.
I collected her on my way here, because of her role as a La Sombra representative.
Just a political hostage. People have made it perfectly clear what's gonna happen with my parents back in Chicago if I go against you.
I realized she might become a target, and decided to hide her at the art hole. Putting all my eggs in one basket will make my job easier. I will look for a safe place for her to spend the night.
Let us stay with you for now, as my time is of the essence.
I didn't notice him sneak up on us. Nice gut up.
Are you absolutely sure?
But of course, everything we say here is going to become an open secret in a matter of minutes. Prince Panhard has already come up with the appropriate messaging.
Out of the corner of my eye, I spot an elderly vampire guiding a young, fashionable human girl toward the basement, led like a lamb to the slaughter. Best not to think too deeply about what's going on underneath this place.
Before everyone gets here, I'd like to secure the perimeter.
Easy now, Asmai. All of the appropriate security protocols for you are already active. Me and the prince have already pulled some strings as well. The situation is mostly under control.
Mostly under control. Never let anyone sleep any easier.
Al-Asmai, I know that as the prince's sword, you're aching for blood, but you have to accept that, like most weapons known to men, you're most effective hidden in the sheath.
Listen here now.
Looks like a fascinating philosophical discussion in the making, but sadly, I am forced to interrupt. Miss Panhard?
All of a sudden, Samira appears between the two men, calm and collected voice completely changing the atmosphere. Expected for a self-professed protector of the peace.
Samira, I hope you're enjoying yourself. To be quite honest, I feel out of place.
She nods and smiles at me, probably to signal she takes solace in not being the only person in the room who feels like a fish out of water.
Especially now, seeing as I heard this meeting is meant for those of greater stature than mine. Nonsense. We have a delicate matter to discuss, one that might require severe judgment down the road. I think you understand why I wished for your child of Hakum to be involved. Of course. What is with an expression on your face, Qadir?
He quickly collects himself.
Look who's joining us.
The High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, Lady Aislinn Sturbridge, walks up to our group in an outfit I would have never imagined her in, pretending everything is par for the course.
Prince Panhard, the Sheriff, the Harpy, the Banu Hakim, Primogen. Are we still waiting for someone?
He's almost here. Shining even more brightly than usual, Aislinn.
I adore your outfit, Samira. Wish the prince allowed the same amount of effort for me.
I, for one, am glad she didn't. I particularly love those horns.
Thank you for reminding me. I put them on at the prince's behest, but I believe she's had more than enough fun.
No, not yet. Oh, this will do for now. But you're not off the hook yet. Paid a costly price to see you like this.
Both Qadir's and the prince's voices are strained whenever they attempt humor. Minds are obviously elsewhere, and it's not a happy place. Arturo, on the other hand, seems calm.
We all celebrate our power in different ways, I suppose. Now, what is this about?
Just a moment. Over here, Addison.
The Camarilla's infamous spokesman approaches, toward us in a wheelchair by his servant.
Hellene, everyone, I certainly hope this is something important.
Commanding tone. Seeing as Payne can't communicate normally, the servant relays his words to us instead, and he's posh and snobby enough to make me believe I'm listening to his master's voice.
Carter won't be joining us.
Give me a fair warning he might not make it tonight. Message him the details.
I'll have to find time to meet him later then. Finding time, searching for lost time. I swear, it's all I do nowadays. There's never enough.
I guess now you understand why I insisted that this event must last all week. So many esteemed guests, many of them are out of town, observing at least a few hours.
The figure in the wheelchair waves his hand impatiently.
Yes, let's just cut to the chase now, shall we?
That might be the wisest course of action, my prince.
Arturo!
My prince, everyone, let me begin by stressing these important points. The situation is largely under control. The negotiations are underway, and the situation is more tense than dangerous. We are safe. Let me repeat. We are safe. And with that out of the way, here's the big news. Baron Callahan, de facto leader of Anarchs in New York City, met his final death in his office tonight.
What did you find out?
We have a good friend near his office. Their intel is as accurate as it gets.
We've also established a negotiation channel with the Anarchs. They gave us all the confirmation we needed.
Was our court involved in this destruction?
I look at her in disbelief. Everyone else. Not that the same thought hasn't passed through my head, but to simply exclaim it like that.
Oh, spare me the virtual signaling. I thought we were being transparent here. I don't give a damn if we took care of Callahan or not. I just want to have a clear idea of what I'm dealing with.
Yes, a clear answer. I need that too.
My knowledge, none of us present here ordered this destruction. Nor did we participate in it. Unless someone wants to confess. It's now or never.
Of course, nobody speaks up. Arturo pretends to clear his throat.
That's our official position as well. The Camarilla's ruling body had nothing to do with it, and for all intents and purposes, his Anarch contenders had more interest in removing him than we did.
Interest is sure to manifest in one way now. His former enemies will pop up as a meritor for the cause.
Yes, which is why we sadly can't just leave the Anarchs to their own devices. As much as we'd like to avoid recognizing their sect in any way, we've offered to assist them in an official investigation.
Madison Payne's wrinkled face contorts slightly.
Let me ask you one question. Do you realize those Kurds have no respect for our traditions? Yes?
We do, Addison, but as a veteran politician, you should be deeply familiar with the words controlled opposition.
Yes. For now, it's impossible to fully contain the Anarch threat in New York. For now, our only option is to prop up a candidate who will offer the least resistance to our future plans for the city. We extend our hand to the most promising contender, giving him a way to present himself as a diplomat, a man of reasonable compromise. The rabble falls in line. The purists grow angry.
We've already contacted the best possible persons in their sect. We will oversee the investigation, and it is in the best interest to show he's able to resolve the situation calmly. Is that good enough?
Addison ponders the question for a while, and waves his hand again.
It is. Proceed.
Funny thing, nobody's paying any attention to me right now.
Keep in mind, Mr. Payne, our man's people will still barely tolerate us. And the situation is volatile. The other factions within that sorry excuse for a sect might still try to escalate the conflict.
I will do my best to solve the situation as fast as possible.
Qadir is momentarily taken aback by Arturo's question.
I volunteer to coordinate the case with the Anarchs, of course.
I refuse. You have more important duties to focus on.
Once more, Qadir is stunned.
With all due respect, Prince, but if you don't consider me capable of tackling this issue and attending to my usual duties at the same time, I think you gravely underestimate me.
You penchant for working yourself to the bone as well, known as appreciated by everyone in this room, Sheriff. But so is your perfection. If we do grant your wish and let you investigate while still fulfilling your routine obligations, you guarantee you're going to give both of these tasks your best?
I can guarantee you something very close to my best.
Close to your best doesn't cut it, Al-Asmai. Not when the vultures are out in force. Callahan's destruction is sure to cause unrest among the Anarchs, and there's an obvious outlet for their pent-up rage.
I want to make this perfectly clear. Celebrations will continue as planned no matter what. This is why your presence here is absolutely necessary. We rely on your constant protection.
Of course, my prince. We must be on constant vigil for a few days. Al-Asmai's sword must be constantly pointed at the enemies surrounding us.
The timing of the Baron's destruction is impeccable. The Anarch leaders are sure to point at us and claim we shamelessly celebrating his end. Does anybody believe it's just a coincidence?
Earth is a messy. Almost all as messy as politics. It's impossible to reliably predict the outcome of any violent action. I think it'd be wise for us to brace for all the unfortunate consequences, Asling.
In any case, the rabble can't get the impression that their power struggles are of great concern to us. But they also can't think we have something to hide. Which brings me to my point. We do need a symbolic gesture, one displaying expertly measured intensity. My best bet is a humble diplomatic envoy, a low-level official acting as an investigator of sorts.
I implore you, Prince.
Qadir.
He bites his tongue and struggles to collect himself. Rarely see him lose his temper, at least where the Camarillas involved. What's going on?
I wonder about your suggestion for this role. After all, it's not particularly prestigious. It carries a lot of responsibility. We still talk about a Camarilla representative.
Oh, I think there's a very obvious candidate.
Both he and Qadir look at me simultaneously. Everyone else in the room does too. Now, wait a second. He can't possibly mean...
Miss Julia, once again your full name eludes me at the moment.
Am I allowed to speak? Or maybe I should wait for permission? Before I make up my mind, the sheriff sighs deeply and speaks up.
Sawinski.
Miss Julia Sawinski. Right. I understand you used to be an investigative journalist before your embrace.
That's correct.
Among others, the Banu Hakim Primogen insisted that you are worthy of greater privileges and should be given a chance to prove yourself.
Samira measures Arturo with suspicion.
Yes.
Do you think she is still capable?
She looks me deep in the eye. I swear she's telepathically trying to tell me, please don't fuck this up, you dumbass little white girl.
Of course.
Good. And I'm sure that you, allies, might have no problem with your protege embarking on this mission. Save for the pain a mother feels when watching her child leave the nest.
Whether I do or don't is not particularly important right now, is it?
Absolutely is.
Panhard's backing of Arturo momentarily blindsides him.
Prince Panhard,
Arturo's plan is reckless. What did you tell me? I need a simple yes or no answer. Is the girl capable?
Now he knows he's left with no choice.
I wouldn't entrust her with all the responsibilities that I have if she wasn't.
He exchanges glances with me, but his look is different than Samira's, as if he's trying to apologize to me.
Here we are, then. A recommendation from the Banu Hakim Primogen and the Sheriff. To tell you the truth, I was just throwing out ideas, but with this backing, I can't doubt the Night Clan's representative will get the job done. I'm certain each of us feels the same. Mr. Payne.
Atmosphere in the room mostly suggests people are glad they don't have to discuss the topic further. A shrug here and a averted gaze there.
As you say, I watch the way she handles this situation with great interest.
Well then, Miss Sawinski, looks like you've got your chance for a big break.
Just tell me what to do. Yeah, just point me in the right direction and tell me what to do. No point in pretending I have a choice here, is there?
Excellent. That leaves us with only one more matter, which I hope we can agree on.
Prince Panhard signals someone with their hand. The figure emerges from behind the corner.
Good evening.
Katherine, what a pleasant surprise. Nobody informed us you were in town.
Addison, looking healthier than ever.
And what does Weiss have to do with it?
We need an impartial observer who everyone respects. And as it happens, Katherine always knew how to make friends on both sides without landering either.
I beg to differ.
I'd be grateful if just for once you decided against throwing a tantrum about me, High Regent.
A painful grimace crosses Aisline's face, but she is quick to interpret the taunt as an invitation to a game she can't possibly win.
As long as she can prove herself useful to the proceedings in some way.
If half of what I heard about her from Mr. Underdem is true, we should be able to.
And what did poor Carter say about me this time?
Nothing specific. I always had to read between the lines with him. But it was mostly envy.
Miss Weiss gracefully agreed to mediate between the Anarch representative and the La Sombra representative, ensuring mutual cooperation and mitigating potential conflicts.
That felt like a Freudian slip. A somber representative. Camarilla representative. I.e., someone who can be catapulted from the sect without much damage to the ivory tower if they mess up? Is there a meeting set up? Arturo looks at the clock on the other side of the room.
In less than an hour. You better hurry then.
What the hell? All this is happening so fast.
If the situation is indeed under control, I will drive her and oversee the situation.
Out of the question. You've got your orders, Sheriff. Attend to those.
You fool! The girl needs guidance!
And we need yours. Nobody knows what might happen next.
But
It's not as if the Anarchs have a lot of love for you, Al-Azmai. You're too efficient in your duties for them to tolerate you. Better spare Miss Sawinski having them see you two together.
You think my guidance of Julia would be lacking, Qadir?
I never said that.
So, do you have any objections to putting her under my care?
He lowers his gaze, but seems reassured.
None whatsoever.
That's all I needed to hear. We'll be going then.
Honestly, no time as usual, I see. Have you at least tried the apparatus?
Waiting is an old person's game, Hellene. I still feel young.
Remember, if there's anything you need to do with.
Probably not, but I appreciate the thought nevertheless. Have a great night, everyone. I'll catch up with you later, Addison.
I certainly hope you do.
And so we leave. In a rush. Funny, considering what she told me about being in a hurry yesterday.
We're here.
He thanks the chauffeur and lets me out of the car into a quiet neighborhood. We're in Queens. Seemed like you're in a rush.
I couldn't stand the crowd.
She's honest. Probably performatively so, just to get into my good graces. Well, it's working. And why is that?
In my experience, gatherings like those always enable a boring pack mentality. All the familiar lies we tell ourselves to justify lusting for more, repeated ad nauseam.
Yesterday you said... Speaking of lies, you seem honest, but yesterday you told me not to rush.
And I stand by it. Do as I say, not as I do. That's the best advice I can give you.
I definitely need more advice than that. Back at the art hole, it says something about guiding me, but I have zero idea what to do. Whatsoever.
I had a few necessary arrangements to make over the phone before we got here to ensure your pretty little head stays attached to your neck. For now, anyway.
I am grateful, but I feel way out of my depth. I need to know what to do.
You used to make a living as an investigative journalist, did you not? Investigate the murder.
In TV shows where investigative journalist gets too close to the heart of a politically incendiary case, it rarely goes well. Cat's head on their porch, a bullet to the head.
So, are you afraid you might be a pawn in a game you don't understand? That your elders consider you a disposable asset? That a single wrong move might cost you everything you hold dear?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Well, by the sound of it, you understand your situation perfectly.
Don't belittle me. I need your advice.
Be anything you want, but don't be boring, Julia. If I wanted to belittle you, I would have drowned you in platitudes long ago. Know thyself, believe in your strength, trust no one, act confident, turn the chessboard around and read your opponent's mind. Read Sun Tzu and quote him incessantly? Is that the word? Okay. Say, do you feel any better now?
Can I ask you something?
Seeing as Maya is still not here, of course.
Do you know who killed Baron Callahan?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Are you emotionally impacted by his death?
Not at all.
Did you know him?
Only passingly, I'm afraid. I expected him to perish sooner than later, so I never bothered to improve our relationship.
Why are you helping me?
Am I? That remains to be seen.
What do you mean?
You don't want a painfully honest answer.
But I do. She stares me down. Her irreverent tone makes it impossible to guess what she's feeling, more so than the mask.
When I look at you, I see someone pitiful, someone whose hunger is purely biological, just an animalistic rush. When I saw a burgeoning plan to put you in a situation that is way beyond your capabilities, I offered my help. I was curious to see your true colors reveal themselves firsthand. When everything is said and done, and Callahan's killer is pointed out, will you be a whimpering animal or a victor taking the spoils? I cannot wait to find out.
I don't know what to say. Is she provoking me, or...
Maya should be here any second. You have time for one more question.
Why do you hide your face? I hope I'm not being rude. Is there a reason you keep your face hidden?
Coronavirus. Yes, there is a reason, and yes, you are being rude.
Sorry, just curious.
I understand, but let's just say I prefer everyone to come up with their own theories. The more stories they'll invent, the less relevant the truth will be. But anyway, here's Maya.
A woman around my age emerges from around the corner of the street. I've never met her before, but if I had to describe her in 2 words by her aura alone, those words would be permanently angry, more so than your average anarch.
Am I Maya? I think.
Yes, you are.
Okay, just checking. You must be Katherine Wise. And you must be Mia Morgan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pleasure's mutual. This your girl? Julia Sanowski, the Lamsober Primogen.
The somber representative. I correct her automatically. At this point, it's a habit.
Good. If you were a Primogen, I might have tried to kill you here and now. Is Torque still on the site? Nah, I told him I'd take it from here. By the end of tonight, he needs to look at a natural candidate for the leader of New York City Anarchs. It's gonna take a lot of driving around and negotiations. How did he react to finding Callahan's remains? He hasn't exactly elaborated on his feelings, but I expect he reacted the same way every true believer in the cause did. It's this complicated mess of all the possible feelings under the moon.
So he was the first one who's seen the murder site?
Oh, so you're already calling it a murder site? Does the Ivory Tower know something we don't?
It's not the official position, but I expect a lot of them think it's Torque who stood to benefit the most from the boss's death, and it sounds like he's quick to jump on new opportunities.
You don't know him.
Yes, but I'd love to meet him and ask him some questions, especially if he was the one who found the body.
Well, if you're meeting Torque at all, it won't be tonight. He's too busy.
I was assigned to investigate. I won't be able to do it properly if I'm not able to question a key witness.
I'll arrange for him to see you this week.
This week? And the tension's a little too high for delaying an investigation like this.
Well, Torque's work is our best shot at making sure they won't get higher, so boo fucking who. And his right-hand woman, though. You got any questions, direct them to me. Maybe the two of you should just head to Callahan's office. The discussion here doesn't seem to be going in the right direction, nor in a particularly interesting one.
You're not coming?
Torque and you are not the only ones who have their work cut out for them tonight. I trust you can take it from here. And Mia, be easy on her. In a slightly different circumstance, I expect the two of you would have ended up on the same side of the barricades. Take care. Oh, sorry.
Take care. She heads back to her vehicle.
Well, follow me. I'll show you his place.
It's a 19th century style office. Classical, wooden, smelly. The stuffy air of books, old furniture, and dust covers much of the fragrance of decay. Not all of it. This is the first time I've seen the remains of a vampire who has met final death. I heard stories of really old kindred crumbling to dust, but that's an exaggeration. At least, it didn't happen here. When kindred die, time catches up with them. If you offed me right now, I'd probably turn into an ugly, leaky corpse. But Callahan was well over a century old. It's like looking at a dapper mummy. A desiccated body in a heap of musty clothes. All that is left of the mighty boss Douglas Callahan, Anarch Baron of New York City, that's really him. Needless to say, it might be a little hard to establish the time of death or the cause, especially as this garb doesn't have any obvious damage. What a great place to start. Have you already found anything suspicious?
Nothing you don't see in front of you.
Huh. This door is the only point of entry to the room, right?
Yes, unless you count the windows. But nobody except for Callahan knew how to operate those, and they don't let air or light through.
Metal blinders on the windows facing east. Only modern element of the room sticking out like a sore thumb. They look automated. Was the door open when Torque got here?
Well, that's one suspicious thing. It wasn't. It's as if Callahan locked himself in from the inside.
Closed room murder, huh? There's some glass scattered on the floor. I point at it. Would that be from the window?
I checked it from the outside. It's in perfect condition.
So what's this glass?
I have no idea.
Why does it seem like she has her suspicions? Remain uncooperative just because, fuck off Camarilla scum. I check the next point of interest. I'll save. Surprisingly large. I play with the lock a bit. What's the combination?
It's Callahan's. What makes you think I know?
At least I tried. Desk with nothing but an envelope on it. Nothing inside. Check all the drawers. Every single one has been thoroughly emptied. I don't know what I expected. Is this how the Anarchs go around securing crime scenes? Were these emptied before Torque arrived?
I don't know, but I wouldn't accuse him of tampering with evidence if I were you.
Well, thank you. The decor of the room is pretty minimal. Not a lot of points of interest that could illuminate the case. I start getting nervous. I point at the painting on the wall. Of course, you have no idea who that is.
Callahan's ancestor, I guess?
I'm out of ideas. Everything that I look at feels like another dead end. I'm frustrated. I feel as if I failed this investigation before it has even started. Must be something more. I start walking around trying to find a single clue. It just watches me indifferently. Give me anything. Anything, god damn it! Hey. Any... Shadow blinks in and out of existence. Callahan's remains. I freeze in place. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of me.
The only thing I'm afraid of is you wasting too much of my time.
Doesn't seem like Mia noticed it. Give me just a moment more. She groans under her nose and goes back to messaging someone on her phone. When she does, the shadow appears again. Once again, blink in, blink out. Could something be there? I approach the clothes and start searching them for a clue. Maybe they missed something.
Getting desperate, huh?
Just being thorough.
We've searched the bastard like 3 times. He had nothing of interest on him.
How about this? A small card, looking a bit like a shopping list, is shoved deep into an almost invisible hole in the fabric. I take it out and show it to Mia.
Huh. You didn't plant that there, did you?
No, did you?
Shove off. What's on it?
List of 4 names. Angelo, Hope, Fawn, Tamika. Any idea what this is about?
Beats me.
She's lying, but I don't care. Tomorrow night, I'll meet up with Qadir and ask him to help me figure it out. I think I'm done here.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Guess she sees me as nothing more but an enemy agent. When will I get to meet with Torque?
If, and that's a big if, he will agree to meet with you on a 1-to-1 basis, Katherine will let you know. He probably won't let a loyal Camarilla tapdog like you see him without her oversight anyway.
Camarilla lapdog, huh? It's a risky play, of course, and might backfire. Maybe I'd benefit if I put my loyalty to the court into question. Nah, not worth it. Playing for both sides sounds like a recipe for trouble. Just too risky and stressful. Us. I see. Well, have a good night. It's getting late. Or early, depending on how you look at it. I leave Callahan's office, I head straight to Dakota's apartment. Try to sneak it by to my bedroom, waiting up for me.
How was your night?
Shit. Tomorrow.
What happened? You look like something the cat dragged in.
Tomorrow, I promise.
But I'm worried.
B. Tomorrow. She gives me a concerned look, then closes her eyes, slumps her shoulders, and frowns.
All right.
You're the best. I reach my pitch black room and throw myself on the bed. The responsibilities, the stakes, the way I always feel too slow to react properly in these situations. I don't want to think, turn off my brain. I want to drift into the void. Into the void. Into the void. Into the void.
Always told you make it big.
Get real. These assholes are just using me as a pawn in some stupid fourth-dimensional chess game.
As opposed to just keeping you off the chessboard. Don't be a glass half-empty buzzkill.
Watch them make me a scapegoat or something.
That would be exciting. I could write a book about living with the 21st century Lee Harvey Oswald.
Come on, don't even joke like that. I haven't killed anyone.
Julia, honey, neither did Oswald.
Right. I keep forgetting.
Stop wriggling or I'll mess your face up.
Sorry. I'm always obedient when she's busy working on my makeup. It's hard to take care of your appearance, especially your face, when you can't even see yourself in the mirror. Not that I've ever been particularly good at it, but Dakota doesn't seem to mind. Her goth dress-up doll. Her presence in my unlife is one of the few good things that my sire provided for me before fucking off to Chicago. Normally, I'd be told to find myself a ghoul. Many of our clan, myself included, the idea of ghouls distasteful. We're cat people, not dog people. We want mindlessly faithful servants. We want companions who rely on us despite having, in theory anyway, the free will not to. The kind of relationship I have with Dakota would normally be a breach of the Masquerade's rules. Rules are different for kindred who are Camarilla. Adjacent. Even losers like me. Simplifying here, but my sire made it clear that her child would not own slaves, and that was the end of the discussion. To be honest, I think the court mostly agreed to that request because they wanted one more thing to blackmail me with, just in case. What would you do in my place?
If I had to investigate your elite's wrongdoings, I'd probably look for those rich fucks' pedophile rings, look for the assholes who mention pizza suspiciously often, see who has powerful friends in Manhattan jails, stuff like that.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious. Search for the deep rot, and a lot of smaller crimes will get solved in the process.
What is it with you and conspiracy theories?
What do you mean? You just told me your bosses are having eyes wide shut parties, and suddenly you don't believe in rich people's pedophile rings?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. Point is, you act as if all the conspiracy theories are real. You can't possibly believe all that shit. All of it doesn't even make sense.
Well, you want an interesting answer or a real answer?
The real answer should be the more interesting one. She removes her brush from my face to gather her thoughts.
Everyone's lost nowadays. Just look at the world. It's drowning in facts that fail to cohere to a single convincing narrative or a story that resonates. The corporate media wants you to believe in empirical thinking, but it always fails to deliver moral or metaphysical truths, and the people desperately lack those. So what do? They turn to conspiracies. And suddenly, they're able to navigate the world. And why is that? Because conspiracy theories give them emotional truths that serve as a compass. Is Bill Gates trying to insert satanic microchips into my body? Probably not. I hope not. Now, is he a terrible person? No idea. But there's ample evidence that might be the case. It's in his ruthless business strategies, the company he used to keep, the philosophies he follows. People look at him and they feel he's fishy. So when the media present him as a genius or a savior, and I post that he wants to put the mark of the beast in my body, they choose to believe me. Because it makes moral, emotional, and metaphysical sense to them. And ultimately, that's what matters most. The end.
Okay, I think I get it. Wow, I'm 99% sure this is complete bullshit, but I'm buying it. I mean, it totally misrepresents most conspiracy nutjobs I knew, but it's interesting and fun to think about, so I don't really give a damn if it's the truth.
See, that's the idea. You get it.
You came up with this monologue yourself?
Oh no, I read it on Facebook.
Oh, figures. But just to make sure, vaccines are okay?
Well, as far as I know, they don't cause autism.
Good to hear.
Anywho, I'm done.
You're the best.
Yeah, considering how many times I've done makeup on a dead body, I probably have enough job experience to be a mortician by now.
That sounds like an exciting career. But in reality, it is probably the most boring thing under the sun.
Yeah, I like my corpse talkative, pouty, and self-loathing.
Shut up. This carcass will be leaving now. It's got a job to do.
Go get him, Tiger.
First thing I need to do, meet up with Qadir tonight and report to him. Hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. He should have time for me in an hour or two. Meantime, I suppose it's time to find the most dehumanizing word I can use here. Nourishment. Qadir told me I need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he said. But to start killing itself, your organism must pretend it's alive. This is a precious... What's that word? Vitae? Vitae.
Vitae.
Vitae, thank you. Love cigarettes. The way they smell, the way they burn, the hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter. The way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tact connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps. Show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight.
You pick.
Diva's Delight. No blood, no matter how exquisite, is worth suffering through this noise. Something terrible must have happened to the previous DJ to be sudden and unexpected for them to hire this amateur under the wire. Zero ability to read the crowd, no sense of flow, as if that constant flashing wasn't migraine, isn't enough by itself. Something I remembered how an ordinary headache feels. You know the hunger though, which is why I'm here tonight. Purple-haired girl bumps into me. Down, tears flowing down her cheeks, hands trembling. As much as I'd understand it, don't think it's the guy at the turntables that made her like this. Did I not say the line?
I didn't catch that.
Ugh.
You know what, Kate? You do her.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She bolts before I can say a single word. Well, who am I to blame her? Tactile retreat probably felt like a good idea. A trace of cheap booze in every potential vessel is faint, present. At this point, the smell is all I'm getting. Think of it, I can barely remember how alcohol tastes. Maybe I should remind myself. That's dumb. The bar is pretty much free of people at the moment. I get closer and take a peek at the drinks menu. These are some goofy fucking names, especially from a Kindred's perspective. Order the Vampiro. After a short while, the crackling of the ice cubes announces the arrival of the sparkling blend. A tall glass, garnished with an orange slice and chili pepper, contains enough fruit and juice to successfully mask the smell of tequila. Mazel tov. Chug it down in one go. It tastes like an awful mix of all kinds of Nesbitt soda, topped off with a hint of fermented cactus pulp. Something tells me I'm gonna regret it soon. The music abruptly stops as I step away from the bar. I can't see the booth, but the crowd's reaction tells me all I need to know. Looks like we have a new DJ. The vibe immediately improves. Hallelujah. The pleasant moments never last. Some well-worn dude on the wrong side of 40 decides to hit me up, or eyes me for a brief moment. Slightly too late for me to outmaneuver him. Strangely, there's no lust in his gaze. In fact, he seems like a predator that's closing in on its prey. Yet, could he be the diva's delight? The kiss addict clocking me as a bloodsucker?
James, go ahead.
I got y'all alone here, sweetheart.
I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something irksome in the way he carries himself. He approaches me, I begin to feel fatigued. There was a sudden drop in atmospheric pressure. Tell him to piss off. My unsure voice throts any attempts at sounding imposing. Can you bother someone else? I'm not in the fucking mood. He seems unfazed by my words, just tilts his head a little like a hound dog catching a scent. I feel spiders crawling up my spine.
There's something wrong here. Let me.
Hands off, asshole. Potence twist his wrist. I grab his wrist in a tight grip and start twisting until I feel the snap of a dislocated joint. He screams in pain, but fortunately the music drowns it out. As soon as I let go of his hand, he runs for the exit. He stares me down before leaving, and I can't help but sense something worse than fear in his eyes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. As if me, that asshole, didn't strain me enough, acid feeling rises in my gut, really making me nauseous. I barely make it to the nearest empty lounge before I begin violently throwing up. For a minute straight, I spray the couch with the remains of that wretched cocktail. It's not a pleasant sight. I get a hold of myself as soon as my stomach empties. Shit, Julia. Your life has had more than its fair share of avoidable embarrassments necessary for your unlife to follow suit. Time to bail and not look back. Before I reach the exit, the purple-haired girl from earlier bumps into me once again. I know it's not coincidental.
Wait, please.
She seems startled, but gives me a pleading look.
I saw what you did to that man. Are you one of them?
What are you talking about? Who's them? She bares her teeth and taps the side of her neck. Oh, I get it. So, you're the diva's delight. She blushes innocently, like I just caught her stealing cookies.
Yes, it sounds silly, I know, but I thought it would attract some of your kind. I've always been told I taste good. Would you like to try?
She looks at me the same way a junkie who hasn't had his hit for a while looks at a syringe. You know too much. There is no way you don't have a patron of some sort. Just tear up again.
I do, but maybe I don't. I don't know anymore. He shows up whenever he wants, then disappears for weeks. I don't even know his name. We were supposed to meet here tonight, but
Guess he didn't show up. The girl keeps talking. She has found somebody new to open up to. Any instinct she might have had to remain secretive is gone. She was wondering who thought it was a good idea to breach the masquerade for her.
before him I used to have a caregiver. She was one of the divas too, but she was exceptional, noble. I think she cared about me in a way. She always complimented the way I taste. Would you like a try?
She clings to my arm like I am Jesus Christ and Kurt Cobain at the same time, descended from heaven exclusively to turn her misery to bliss. Can't help but feel some disdain.
Please, I promise you won't be disappointed.
I know I won't be. I'm too hungry for that. But I also like to pretend I'm something better than hungry from time to time. Feeding opportunity. Hunger gets the better of me, but somehow I don't mind. This is what she wants, isn't it? Quick look around. Nobody's paying attention. What they? We're just two random girls who seem to be into each other. I gently grab the back of her head, put my lips closer to her neck. Visibly trembles with excitement. As I bite down, her body softens. Then I drink, savoring each sip. She really tastes incredible. Unfulfilled promise. Sweet, sweet innocence. As soon as I am done, she loses her footing and, undoubtedly relieved, I help her sit down on the floor. Smiles at me, her glinting in her eye.
Thank you. I really needed that. My name's,
Don't talk, just rest for a while. I leave her alone in this state of bliss and seem to mind. It looks like I did the right thing. Right? I leave the booming sounds of the club behind me and get on with my night. We're still going?
Yes.
Funny as a reporter. Honestly, sweeping through Evergreen Cemetery in search of Nigel Woods was the last thing I expected to be doing tonight. And yet, here I am. Past refuses to let me out of its grip even for a few days. The black limo almost ran me over on my way here. I just can't get a break, can I? It takes me less than a minute to find Nigel, laying up next to the gravestone of John Bunny, one of the most famous actors of the 1910s. Why there, exactly? Well, the man is paranoid, which is why we were forced to come up with such an unpredictable method of choosing rendezvous points. It had to be ambiguous enough to seem incidental to a casual onlooker, but reasonably uncomplicated so that this dumbass couldn't mess it up. So, we decided on silent film actors. Whenever he wanted to meet, he left me a note with an obscure movie title. Then I only had to look up who starred in it and make my way to their final resting place. Yeah, maybe it feels somewhat goofy and unnecessary, but it's also been fun. Ridiculing Woods for his paranoia would be a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. There he is, idling away his time on his smartphone, swiping left with noticeably no increasing frustration. Too many girls who actually know what they want from life in a row, Nigel? Don't worry, I'm definitely not that type. When he sees me, he reacts as if he's just seen a ghost. A regular comedian. Man halts a few feet away from me and crosses his arms, giving me a dirty look.
James.
What the hell are you up to these days, Zawinski? Too busy for your old pal? Never write, you never call?
He puts on this completely unconvincing frown, but quickly loses it, bursting into sincere laughter.
Shit, Jules. Not gonna lie, it's good to see you. Looking good, gal. I mean, you're still all doom and gloom, and even paler than usual, but I always had a soft spot for your bony eyes. Come here, give your uncle a hug.
Warn him. Good old Nigel, as dim-witted as always, still in the habit of collecting charges and restraining orders for your uncle's sticky hands act. Keep your distance for your own good.
Alright, I get it. And to think we used to.
To the chase, Woods. This isn't a social invitation, and I have only so much patience for your innuendos. What do you want?
Still quick to get to the right point, eh? Very well. I've been trying to put together a piece of some particularly unseeming business in the deep web. One of my plugs pointed me in the direction of Double Spiral, saying that...
Double Spiral? Am I even surprised that name keeps coming up again and again? It kind of haunts me. Of course, I made sure I would. I still keep tabs on Montgomery from time to time, constantly reliving those 16 months I slaved away for nothing. It might have been just another part of Karen's hazing ritual, but I have a feeling that even if that wasn't the case, Brian would still be told to kill the story.
Some dirt in this internet whiz goes by the name of Hope. She supposedly has had some close dealings with the Montgomery clan. Ever heard of her?
I'm an expert on the concept. Can't say I'm familiar with the person in question either. I'm lying, of course, feigning apathy. The name strikes a chord. One of the four jotted down on Callahan's list. Coincidence? Qadir insisted I shouldn't believe in these.
As far as I can tell, she's mostly involved in some kinky porno stuff involving scopophilia, body maiming, lots of blood. Shit's borderline occult. My cover's blown, though. I think someone's after me. Still, I've got a few useful leads, which I'll happily exchange for some Benjamins before I go AWOL. Interested?
Knowing him, those few leads are completely worthless. With his luck, he really might have strayed into dangerous waters. Useless to him might prove useful to me. If I play along, he won't even know I'm no longer in this line of work. Did you expect me to buy your intel sight unseen? Yes, Nigel. Break it down for me, I won't screw you over, you know me better than that. He sighs audibly, sizing me up and down. After a brief moment, he raises his voice again.
Wait. What do you want to know?
Just tell me about Hope. So what about that Hope girl? Something worth pursuing?
Maybe. She's an enigma, a total fucking mystery. The only thing I'm certain of is that she exists and enjoys streaming for an exclusive audience. Supposedly, she's in the cryptocurrencies. You know, those bitcoins things. I could never make any sense of it. It's a scramble, I know, but I promise you that somewhere within lies a juicy story for someone like you to pursue. Hell, I'll have lunch if we join forces. We might really hit this excuse me. We might really hit it big this time. Thoughts?
This poor idiot. This intel of his sounds like a cheap pulp novel. No one in their right mind is going to pay a dime for it. On his credibility, if he still has any. If he persists in spreading this bullshit, it will probably completely neuter his ability to harm us eventually. But if the Ivory Tower gets wind of his activities, Qadir is going to get involved. He's going to ask questions, and the answers will get both me and Nigel in trouble.
You're really awful quiet, Jules. Speak up. You're creeping me out.
Dominate. I'm sorry, Nigel. Just a bit, but still.
What?
He freezes in place as I gaze into his eyes. There is no blood trafficking or secret turf was going on in New York. You have nothing on Double Spiral, and there is no hope. Made it all up. The idea you have instead is a non-fiction book about toxic masculinity. You're going to do your research, and you're going to pitch the book to everyone as a real expert on the subject. Stands there, completely perplexed, suppressing layers of random memories. His mouth wide open, stuck in a bizarre pose, he looks like a total goofball. I can't help but snort. Bunny wouldn't compare, especially if our guy really follows his programming and a comedy of errors ensues. It's going to recover in a couple of minutes, but I'm not sticking around. This trick has taken its toll on me. I only keep my fingers crossed that it sticks. Best to bury the memory of this meeting along with the rest of my past. Alright, this is about time I had to see Qadir. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in the place that's most convenient for me.
D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. I suppose that's better than nothing. But no evidence? Really?
Honestly, it felt as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived.
Sounds like the Anarchs.
I'll definitely try and check that place again. Feel I'd need some sort of expert to accompany me. Advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe?
Yeah. If you don't mind a diplomatic incident, I'll go with you.
Any better ideas?
Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I will get back to you about that.
You know these people?
I've had passing contact with each of them. Part and parcel of the job, you know.
I suppose. Can you help me out with this?
The way I'd tackle it would be, look at one person on the list every night, ask around about them, and see what they know if you do manage to meet them.
If I manage to meet them.
They're not particularly easy to get a hold of. Always preferred to be a little off the grid, but nowadays, they're all practically in hiding, if not MIA or dead.
Funny coincidence?
It is not my job to speculate.
In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. Guess I'll find out anyway. We do meet them. And why one night each? Can I investigate every loose thread until we're satisfied?
In a perfect world, you would have all the time you needed. But this is not a perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your findings, and that will be all.
Fucked up.
To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself.
Fucked up.
This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think that Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor.
If it wasn't for the loyalty I feel toward Qadir, Samira, and my sire, God knows the memory of my embrace still holds too much sway on me. I'd have plotted a vendetta against these assholes long ago. But let's be frank. If I thought that lying to Mia about being sympathetic to the New York City Anarchs yesterday could benefit me, I still probably wouldn't do it. It would feel like betrayal. There's something about the Camarilla's ideals that still ring true to me. A belief in individual excellence and nobility. The way time-tested traditions can ground us in this terrifying new existence. But being on the receiving end of this shitty neo-feudal structure, seeing firsthand how the elites always play by their own rules regardless. Can't help but think there must be something better out there. Kind of Camarilla that would actually deserve slavish loyalty from a kindred like Qadir.
A penny for your thoughts.
I take a drag from my cigarette. I'm just pissed off. Schmutz, schmutz. Angry, what do you expect?
Something different from the norm, I suppose.
My anger levels are above the norm, I suppose.
It's a nasty situation, but not one without a possible good ending in sight. So I hope you can channel that anger into something productive.
I can try. Where should I go first?
You should go with me. As it happens, I'm only out here because I was ordered to drive Aisling to the art hole. And guess the name of her protege.
Oh, so that's who Agathon is.
Or was. Nobody knows. It's a complicated thing. You'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on.
Work your magic, fairy godmother.
Still not done with this bit.
While it's still bothering you.
I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up.
As I already told Qadir, and numerous times at that, I have no idea what happened with Agathon.
The Broadway Chantry, part of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, is Aisling's usual hangout place these past few nights. Hurry, and not willing to talk. Have any idea about his connection to kindred going by the names of Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope?
I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional, and I never meddled in his personal affairs, unless they influenced our work, that is. But it only happened one time.
Ah, yes. The infamous Juno case.
Were there any scientists leaving? Or anything that makes his appearance suspicious?
No, nothing. It was quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still, this line of work is not particularly favored by folks with a perfect grasp of savoir-vivre?
Savoir-vivre.
Savoir-vivre?
Good enough for me.
I do hope his search will bring him back right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented, and I did put a lot of time into mentoring him. If he doesn't, well, que sera, sera. No skin off my back.
So, you won't even entertain the possibility that he found himself in harm's way?
I know an answer to that one. A researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst-case scenario seriously, and just takes things as they come.
Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists didn't operate this way, most people would have put a bullet in their own head long ago.
A cheery thought. I'd like to search the Chantry for Agathon's whereabouts.
Our good sheriff already did that, long ago. You'd just be wasting your time. And ours, for that matter. Didn't you say Hellene was waiting for us, Qadir?
Give the girl 15 minutes, Aisling. A minimal support for an ongoing investigation. And besides, she has a proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked.
"10 minutes. And if you attempt to pass this door, or that one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive."
Thank you very much, High Regent.
Just get on with it.
My time here is practically up, and I found nothing of use. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. His personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. I could go by. It's all research, research, research. Seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted Dakota to know?
Alright, do you guys think it's a man or woman?
Looks like a woman. I could be
I
wrong.
feel like it's a woman.
Yeah, I'm getting woman vibes from it.
Okay, Nelly, go for it.
It's loose.
Was that? Yeah. I was facing this way, huh? Approached the place where I saw the shadowy silhouette appear. Brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Qadir and Aislinn are in another room right now, still discussing the party.
It's not that bad. You want to learn how to find humor in the little things.
It's demeaning, Sheriff. That's all there is to it.
It's time. I work the brick loose until I grip it, and I tug it as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside, there's a book. Browse through it quickly. Agathin's diary. It's a bingo.
Your 10 minutes are up. So are your 15 minutes, in fact. Are you done here?
If I could just get 5 more minutes, I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more.
No way, Julia. Time to go.
Fine. I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It looked like Agathon left it so that someone in the chantry could find it, namely the High Regent. My investigation takes priority for now. I bid Qadir and Aislinn adieu and start looking for a secluded place to read the diary. This place right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through the diary in peace.
Stop there for tonight.
Ah.